Today we're getting to know Alan Rea, a fighter out of Team No Excuse MMA in Nampa, Idaho. Alan has built his reputation through hard work in the gym, a relentless mindset, and a drive to grow in combat sports. Welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
You got it. Alan, what first sparked your journey into MMA and this whole world of combat sports?
I don't know. A lot of things. I just feel like I got a lot of signs throughout life that, this was the place to be. But I feel like I started a little bit late. As a little kid,
Sure.
I like Power Rangers, Jackie Chan, all the butt whippers, Batman because he had no superpowers, right? And in a single household, it was just my mom's raising us and my brothers.
Okay.
You kind of feel like you have to fill up that seat, in responsibility, man of the house, all that.
Yeah.
And I involved myself through sports within high school and wrestling, and that worked out pretty well. So then I kind of evolved that with kind of throwing a little bit more hands. I always respected the hand portion when I already did the ground portion of the work, and that's where I met Kenny at Tomorrow's Champions. I warmed up my hands right there, but I had to move, and I was a little bit of a knucklehead, so I had to get away from my friends for a little bit, and that's where I met Johnny,
Okay.
and it just went on from there.
Yeah.
And we got fights after 8 months. He said I was good enough, and it worked out.
Nice. So you finally found a spot where you can kind of put your feet down and grow some roots and develop yourself.
Yeah, Johnny, everybody from the gym just immediately made me feel like family, and yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what you mentioned a minute ago. I want to rewind it just to tap into kind of your backstory a little bit. You said you were raised by a single mom with brothers in your home. How was that coming up?
I had the first person point of view. You can't complain with, the things you have or you don't have, right? So you just got to make with what you got.
Yeah. Was it tough?
Yeah, a little bit, I had to help moms around a lot, she didn't have too much support. So,
Sure.
You kind of see the struggle and you enjoy the little things.
Yeah, so you appreciate life a little differently.
Yeah, I always try to stay humble.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man.
Never try to be, the center guy of attention. I'm always the dude in the back, just kind of scoping out the room.
Yeah. What's one of the biggest lessons that your mom taught you?
If somebody hits you, you hit them back. But as a little kid, I couldn't hold myself up. I was shy, couldn't stand up for myself, and I just let too many opportunities like that slide by, and I didn't want to let that be my personality. So, I just kind of had to hold my own, for my brothers, and, later on in adult life. Yeah.
So fast forwarding to where you're at now, you've got some experience under your belt. You're still young, but you're still developing your style at the same time. Like, what would you describe your style as, if you were to describe it?
A lot of personality in my fights. Thanks to Johnny, he always compares. He gives me a lot of tactics. He would spar me, compared to other fighters. They don't land as much as Johnny does to me, and he's very experienced himself. He'll do the Muhammad Ali shuffle, and he gets my eyes to face down. I'm like, how do you do that? I want to do that. You landed on me, and he taught me how to do that. Boom, that's included in my fights. I loved it, right? He teaches me rollovers, right? And then 45s, like he'll compare it like Bruce Lee karate, right? So with all of that, overall, I see myself standing up like as a karate guy. That's how he explains it. And, that works out for the MMA game and the kickboxing, Muay Thai game too.
Yeah. Do you have a preference or a favorite style?
No, honestly, we're very universal here. We love the stand-up game, right? So we like to include everything, what a regular boxer doesn't see, I got different tactics for that, right? What a actual kickboxer sees, just hit him with, some fancy boxing, foundations are very different. So Johnny has done a very good job keeping me well balanced. Yeah.
Earlier you said that at one point in time, I don't know how long ago this was, I can't remember what you said as far as the time frame, but you were a knucklehead at one point. Yeah. And you had to get away from some people, right? Like, how do you stay focused now, going into not just a bout, but even on the quote unquote off season when you don't have a bout scheduled? Like, what does it take to keep your head on straight and not get derailed?
It's merged into more of a lifestyle now. I was a knucklehead, right after high school, bad influence of friends, right? Had to spend a little bit of time away from them a little bit, spend more time training, and it just evolved into, I want to come back the next day. This guy got me, but I'm going to get him the next day. And those little points just made more sense as we escalated that through. And honestly, I don't think I can go more than 3 days without picking up some gloves and hitting, a bag or something. So I consider that more important than lifting weights. Fitness, the regimen is very important to me. I believe, the point is to get 1% better each day. If I just sit my butt on the couch, I don't feel like I'm getting any better. I feel not depressed, but I don't like to be in the same spot.
It's almost like it's not purposeful.
It just comes naturally. And even when there isn't any fights, I'm here with Johnny. We're training, newer people. I'm teaching them foundations, and then that's just giving me nice little reviews on keeping me sharp.
Well, I think that, part of what you said is reminiscent of something I think much bigger that maybe we don't always think about, and that's you made this into a lifestyle change or choice in how you just live your life. And I think in many aspects of life, like until it becomes that part of you, you don't really see success materialize from it. Like it's impossible because you're not focused, right? And it sounds like you've found some focus in this season of your life.
I mean, it's not the most rewarding sport. It's pretty mean. But before I entered it, I was at a couple of MMA fights, and you just see teams and coaches and fighters, and I just wanted to carry over my shoulders who are the dangerous people around the area, as involving hands and ground game and all of that. And I realized like the fighting community is very tight knit. Everybody knows each other. Oh, this person comes from this gym. This coach teaches that person. That coach went to that gym now. So you kind of stay in touch with that. So as far as the local community and the treasure fighters, I've already passed that. Now we're doing promotions, out of state, Montana, Utah, Washington, and we're getting aware of those gyms and those fighters, and it's just a growing aspect overall where that was the goal in the first place. Now we're there, so now it's like everything's reachable to us, we're not scared of any promotions, we're not scared to travel.
Yeah, I feel you. What's your favorite part of the fight game in general? Would you say it's the physical grind itself, the technical side of it, the mental preparation? What do you get the most joy out of?
It's just all of it, honestly. Like the fight camp, everybody's tough on each other, but with love, obviously. We're not we don't go too hard to where it's ego. We do it smart and technical. Johnny's taught me a lot of head movement. I feel like that's my favorite aspect with the fighting game. And nobody keeps up. I'll drop my hands at fights, right? Just to see, hey, hit me. Nobody has made me pay for it. Nobody's made me tap out. Nobody's knocked me out, right? Any times where it hasn't favored in my end at the end of the fights, it's always the judge's decision type of thing. And you always have to respect, the judge's decisions, but that's where you take your notes and you improve. And then afterwards, just back to the drawing board. Can't be shy of it. I know I will never be beat enough to where I'm never going to return. That's just the proper mentality. It's just keep going. It's okay to have losses. That's where you learn from. You win, you might develop a little bit of kind of an ego in a way, but it's kept me humble that it could happen to anybody.
I remember, I grew up wrestling, and one of my coaches used to always tell, he's like, there's always somebody better. So stay humble, because there's always somebody better. Like, you can still grow every year, that 1%, 2%, 10%, etc. But just remember, there's always somebody out there. They can take you out.
Always, and we're trying to look for those people, even if it's in a friendly sparring match from gym to gym. Like, I want to know those people. I want to meet those people. We can learn from something. A technique they hit on me. I'm gonna write that down. How do I land that on somebody else? And that's just kind of evolved in my fight game. I got a bunch of tricks up my sleeve, almost like a showcase type of fighter, right? I don't want to put too much personality, because we're still focused on the point of getting the win, right? So if it's not by knockout, we got to include, more contact, to where when it comes down to the judges, they don't even have to think about it. That's what my mentality is following through these next fights. No judges. It has to be me.
For somebody who is listening to this, and I'm going to just give you a curveball right here and just say, What's something about you that nobody would know, hardly anybody would know, and you get to reveal that here right now?
That's a hard question.
Deepest, darkest secret, no, yeah. A goal, an aspiration, somebody that's impacted you, like what moves you as a person? Honestly,
I would just say just the people around me. Everyone's been pretty positive about the training. That the people around me, honestly, is what keep me going, to be honest, you know? Everybody that I train with, people that, you know, continue to pursue the fight, their fight game along with us, and then just seeing everybody evolve from the area, you know? Like, I'm glad to see other people grow and seeing where they land themselves into with promotions and stuff like that. But as far as something personal for myself is, I'm never gonna let go of the fight game. I'm always gonna train. I'd rather be a 52-year-old guy still training than, you know, abandoning it and saying, oh yeah, I was a good fighter.
Yeah.
No, it's almost tattooed on me.
Yeah.
You know, tattooed in my spirit to always have the fight game in my life.
I believe that about you. Yeah, I could tell that you're a student. And you're a student of life, you're a student of the fight game itself, so I believe that's going to be something that sticks with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Alan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.